Welcome to this week's edition of Outdoors Online, a weekly webcast produced by the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. I'm your host, Mike Anderson. My guest this week is Game Warden Supervisor Paul Freeman. Today we're going to talk about what role law enforcement plays in the Game and Fish Department and the RAP program. We planned on being outside today, but Mother Nature's not allowing, so we're in the indoor fish cleaning station here in Devil's Lake. Paul, Devil's Lake is busy during the summer and fall with people fishing. What are some of the violations that are more frequent?
Frequent violations have to do with licensing issues, not buying one, not having a current one, that kind of thing. And then over limits. White bass is a big thing for over limits. Occasionally we get some walleye or northern over limits as well, but and perch. But for the most part, it's white bass.
We talked a little bit about some of the confiscations you've had to do already this summer.
Yeah, we've got about 60 coolers already that's been seized, and that's just from this year.
And that's all because of over limits?
Correct, yep.
Okay, what are some of the other violations? I know we've stepped up some aquatic nuisance species regulations here in the last couple of years. Do you see a lot of those violations?
Yeah, the wardens are always cognizant of whether you're talking to a boater or fisherman on shore or whatever, about looking for water in their boat, contained water, those kind of things, water from an outside source, water in your boat before you're in the water, once you get out of the water. And those aquatic nuisance species rules and regulations are something that we take a really close look at.
Okay, and something you guys are always looking at summer and fall is boating safety.
Yeah, Devil's Lake is not necessarily a huge recreation lake, but we do get a lot of recreational boaters. We try to keep an eye on all the recreational boaters. We want to make sure that you're boating safely and you have enough life jackets, your boat's not overloaded. You have all the other safety equipment you need. You got to have a fire extinguisher, you got to have a horn, that kind of thing.
Let's talk about the Report All Poachers program, also known as RAP. How does that assist you and your wardens?
It's a great assist to our field guys because it puts more eyes out on the landscape. One guy's probably got 2 counties. It's a lot of land to cover. But if you have the sportsmen keeping their eyes open and willing to make a phone call if they see a violation, that's a really big help to us.
And we have a big state, 35 game wardens. How does that help statewide?
Yeah, it's statewide. It's great. We probably have very few people working on an hourly basis because it's just so vast of area to cover. But having the sportsmen help us out is just a great big help for us.
Okay, when was the program started?
RAP started in 1983. Its inception was a great idea. Just for this reason, they wanted to make sure that more violations were detected, more violations were prosecuted, and so they got the people involved, the sportsmen.
On an average year, how many calls do we typically get?
About 100 phone calls come into the RAP call center every year, which is state radio. It's a 1-800-472-2121, or if you're going to be kind of a local, and it's a 328-9921. Anyway, about 100 calls a year. RAP actually pays out rewards for about 30 people a year.
And if somebody witnesses a violation, what should they do?
Well, once you call that phone number, you're going to get a dispatcher at State Radio. And State Radio is going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. Number one, they're going to ask you location, the type of violation you observed, and then they're going to try and get some information from you about the violator. Do you know the person? If you don't, was he in a vehicle? Can you tell us the license plate number? Can you give us the make and model, the color? What kind of violation it was, those kind of things.
Okay, and let the game wardens approach the people.
Yeah, absolutely. We do not advise in any way, manner, or form to actually, take the law into your own hands and approach the person. I mean, number one, they're probably going to have some kind of weapon. They're hunters or fishermen. They're going to have some kind of thing. So I don't recommend that at all. Let us do our job. Just take a step back and give us a call.
Okay, and if you have the game warden's number directly, you can also call them directly.
Yeah, a majority of our cases from the public comes that way, where we get called individually by the witness.
Every couple of years, Paul, we have a RAP auction. Having one here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, August 24th at the Schaumburg Ice Arena in Bismarck is going to be the RAP auction. Like I say, you have one every couple of years, and this is where all the confiscated items, we're talking about guns and decoys and coolers and fishing equipment, those kind of things, get sold to fund the RAP program. And that way the RAP program has a little bit of funds in its bank account so it can pay out to these people that have seen something and desire a reward.
Okay, those phone numbers once again.
The 1-800 number is 1-800-472-2121, and the local one is 701-328-9921.
A lot of great information, Paul. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The RAP program is administered by the North Dakota Wildlife Federation. This year's wrap auction will be held in Bismarck Saturday, August 24th at the Schaumburg Arena. Doors open at 9 a.m., auction starts at 11 a.m. For Game Warden Supervisor Paul Freeman and the rest of the staff here at the Game and Fish Department, thanks for joining us for this week's Outdoors Online. We'll see you again next week.